I know that you've been practicing, preparing for the playoffs for the last few days. Considering that it's here, it's your first appearance back in a little while as far as the postseason, would you be any more excited about getting the chance to get back in the postseason tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. I don't think it feels too much different than it typically would. It feels good, and everyone works hard to get to this point. So yeah, I'm excited, but I don't think it feels any different than usual.
As far as the way these two teams have scored goals against one another, would you expect this to be a continuation of high scoring offense, or do the playoffs kind of change that?
I think usually the playoffs change that, but we'll see. I think it's pretty hard to predict that, but both teams do have a lot of depth up front and have shown that they can score goals. So I think that when you get to the playoffs, it's usually a little bit lower scoring, but you never know. So for us, we want to make sure that we're playing well defensively and hopefully keep their goals to a minimum.
Sidney, is there any extra motivation for this group, in particular maybe for you and Gino, that you're back in the playoffs for the first time since 2010? I mean, the window to win is you never know how long it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
there for you guys. Is that there?
Yeah, I think that playoffs intensity starting already. Yeah. No, I think that for anybody, whether you've been in them previously or it's always an opportunity, and you have to make the most of it. And for us, maybe a little bit more hungry just because we missed the previous playoffs, but it's never an automatic thing. And as much as you like being there, and as much as we're playing on a good team here in Pittsburgh, it's not automatic. So, like you said, you definitely have to make the most of the opportunity.
You've been called a punk. You've been called a lot of things. People seem to want to poke you and take you off your game. Can that have the opposite effect, though? Can that maybe kind of, to a certain degree, you almost want to stick it to certain people, to the Flyers, for trying to get under your skin a little bit? Or?
I don't really need any extra motivation, to be honest with you. So it's not anything that really changes the way I approach a game or anything like that. Those are tactics that I've seen for a long time, way before I got to the NHL. So some things never change, and that's one of them. So I don't think that changes my my mindset at all. But if there is, ever any extra incentive, you try to make the most of your opportunities.
So do you expect Game 1 to be a little bit more maybe calculated, mistake-free? I mean, these are two teams that know each other very well.
Yeah.
Just like while you feel each other out, because it is the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much feeling out. I think because we do know each other so well, I think that most times teams in that situation get right into it, and both teams know what to expect. So the fact that we've played each other, pretty frequently down the stretch too, I would expect it to be pretty intense.
Can you compare the hype or the war of words, so to speak, between these two teams for the last really 2.5 weeks since you knew that we were going to be playing them, to anything else for a first-round series?
I don't know. You know what? A lot of times you forget about all that stuff. I mean, that's there in every playoff series and somewhat. I mean, maybe not to this extent, but nobody ever remembers really what's said. Everyone always remembers who wins the series. So I think both teams are more focused on that, and all that stuff doesn't really matter once you get on the ice. So I don't remember, but I don't think you usually remember anyway. So, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference.
Anything in particular that stands out about the Flyers when you think about when you faced them already this year?
I think they're a group that has a lot of skills up front. They're very dangerous in our zone, and they have a great power play also. So I think we're going to be disciplined throughout the series.
As far as how things change now that it is the postseason, what differences do you feel? What really does change?
More of you guys in the room this morning, I guess. But other than that, so far it's been just a regular routine. Whatever we've been through throughout the season.
As far as just the intensity between these two, do you sense that? I mean, it's different with the Flyers, is it not?
Yeah, I think we've always had a good rivalry, and it's been going on for a long time. And also, it's always pretty intense when we play them. Always fun to play those games. So.
What about their power play? What stands out about that?
I think they're a team that scored the most goals this season. So they're definitely good. They move the puck very well. They got guys that can shoot. So just gonna be aware of it.
You two are the two highest scoring teams in the NHL this year, but that tends to change a little bit in the postseason, doesn't it?
Usually games are a little, a little more. I think the games are played a little more tight. I think defensively, and it helps the goalies out a little bit. But still, though, I think on both sides there's a lot of skills, a lot of talent up front, so it should still be interesting.
You got a ton of work this year. How are you feeling physically? Strong or a little bit beat down?
No, I feel good. It's been a fun season. I think we were able to get some wins and finish for it, and just happy to get started tonight.